Welcome everybody, my name is François Letarte and this is my channel D30, a channel about tabletop role-playing games. So, this will be my 2018 wishes for RPGs. Well, the tone of my 2018, I expect it to be very modest, very down-to-earth. I will have a very busy year in my personal life. Well, it doesn't make much of a change of the couple of years, but especially this year, it will be very packed. So I can't get into a great role-playing games project. Yeah, so let's begin with what I may wish, and we'll see if it will happen. Outside of the wishes, I already have my Friday night group. We play every 2 weeks. It's at my home. We have projects. We have talked about games that we want to play. Right now we're in a Simbaroom adventure, which will take probably a couple of sessions, so we're in it. And after that, one of the players has made a proposition to make Savage Worlds science fiction. So it will be my introduction to Savage Worlds. I had the book since a couple of years in my shelf, and I've never had the chance to read it. I've bought it, the intention to discover the game, and just didn't have the occasion. So it will be a perfect occasion to discover that game. Well, I had the book in English, but that game master is way more at ease with French, so he was able to order himself a French copy of the book. I have ordered the PDF. I wanted to have a physical copy, and it was very, very difficult to find. The English version is very easy to find, but the French version, even the publisher is out of stock. So I was able to find a physical copy. It was just a matter of circumstance. I was into a gaming store that I didn't plan to go in during the holidays, and there was a French version of Savage Worlds, and I prefer that since the game master is going to use the French version of it, so it's just easier, and I like to have the book and I want to read it. And I must admit, I prefer it in French. Okay, for me it's easier in French. Even though I can read English books, right now I'm reading a role-playing game book that is in French, and it's a joy to read. So, yeah, why not? So, Savage World science fiction, and maybe it will become an official game system. Maybe we will fall in love with it. I'm expecting to, I have great expectations for Savage Worlds, but, that will be maybe the entry point to get us in many different settings with one game system. Maybe that will be Savage Worlds. We'll see. Well, there was some talks to maybe other games we want to do on the Friday nights. We'll have to talk about it, but so far we have agreed on Simbaroom and Savage Worlds science fiction. We know that it's coming. Well, we're quite good at keeping the 2 weeks. We're quite regular on that. Sometimes, yeah, we may skip a session or two, but I think we're quite good at keeping it, because sometimes how it is. You can skip sessions, and instead of playing every 2 weeks, you play every month if you're lucky. But that's not the case. We're quite disciplined to keep the game. Because so far we were able to get into 3 campaigns in 2017. Just to recall them back, we've played True 20 to a homebrew Middle Eastern type of game. We played Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, and we began Simbaroom, which we are still in right now. So that is for my Friday night group. As for online gaming, All for One Régime Diabolique, I think we have in the intention of continuing the adventure, even though schedule won't be easy, and we know about it. It has been quite an issue last year with All for One. That's why we don't play that often. We're trying to get the best schedule available. But we're ready to go to some sacrifice to make it happen because we love that so much. Well, if I'm talking from myself, it's my favorite setting of all time. It has been years since I wanted to play something like that, in that type of setting, and here it is. It has been almost a year we've been playing that. So much has happened to that campaign. It's very interesting, very deep, lots of intrigue, like you would expect into that kind of novels, Alexandre Dumas novels. Yeah, so we're still into it, and I have hope to make it last as long as it can, because I'm really enjoying it. As for online gaming, that is more of a wish, but I'll try to work on getting back with my RPGS Super Setting project that I've begun 2 years ago. Maybe if you're out of context and don't know what it is, well, RPGS is a free document that you can find on the web, which is a setting with 16 kingdoms created by 14 different authors. Every kingdom is described within just a few pages each. No game systems tied to it. You take a kingdom, you take the game, your favorite game, and you can, make a session in that, even start a whole campaign. Okay, it's a toolbox to have, something written with the color with it. So I had a project which was to play every kingdoms with the different game systems, which is more difficult than I expected. I was already expecting it to be difficult, but it's more difficult. It's just keeping the pace. 2 years ago, I was able to get 4 of the kingdoms done, and in 2017, well, a month ago, I was able to start a one-shot because I'm doing it in French and in English, and I was able to begin the one-shot in French, and we didn't finish it. So I have still to finish that game. So yeah, I am hoping to get back to work and have a couple of kingdoms made. I really want to get this done. I know that I won't do it all in 2018, but I want to get through my project. I want, to have a constant reminder of that RPGs exists, and and pay homage to all of those kingdoms, to at least say that they were played once and we have a record of it. Yeah, so that's the kind of challenge I want to get through. Frankly, I don't know if I'll do the same with the science fiction one, though I may like to do it, but we will see. We will see then. Okay, maybe it will be 4 years from now, so I don't know. But nevertheless, I think it's a document worth checking, and yeah, and I'm choosing, games that most of them are easily findable on the internet for free. These are free games meant to be free. And some other games that I have, paid games, but I have in my collection that I want to try through this experiment. It's an occasion for me to get some games from my shelf and say, okay, we'll play that. Okay, so for RPGs, I'm hoping to get back to work. Other wishes, well, Stellar Adventures, the science fiction game based on advanced fighting fantasy. Well, maybe I would wish to try it. I'm highly impressed by that game. I might make a review if time permits me, a full review, but I can say right now that it's a great game. I was really amazed by that game, and I feel like I'd like to run a science fiction game with that campaign. You can do anything you want. It's on 100 page, but you have anything you want to create your stuff. It's a very good toolbox. Yeah, I'm very amazed by that product. And it's a gem. It's a hidden gem that just came out recently. And it's a hidden gem, you know, a little buried under other games like Starfinder, the new Star Trek, and you know, all those big canons of role-playing, science fiction role-playing games that are coming out. I think Stellar Adventures need more attention than that. I really feel that, you know, it needs to be watched. It may fill the needs of many game masters who want something simple that covers it all in a very elegant way. So, yeah, Stellar Adventures. Another game I'm looking for, maybe to play in 2018, it's Humanish. Yeah, Ivan, if you're watching me, we've talked a little about it. I don't know if time will permit, but contemporary supernatural type of horror, that is a game that is very appealing to me. It uses the phase rip game system, the book, well, about 100-page maybe. You have character creation with different type of supernaturals, the game rules, no settings, okay, you choose a setting. So yeah, and it's very appealing. I'd like to try it. Yeah. So maybe that will be done this year. Other than that, yeah, maybe get back to Star Wars D6. I had an invitation from a group, an online group, to play that. I don't know. Okay, I'd like to. I really like to. Okay. By the way, I like the last movie. I know that some people hated it, The Last Jedi, but I really like that movie. Yeah, okay, it's not the best of the series, but you know, I got into the theater. Get out with a smile. Okay, well, what else do you want? Everything I was searching for in Star Wars was there. Okay, so yeah, well, some stuff I may talk about, some negative points, but not that much, you know, to really break my enjoyment of that movie. I've enjoyed it, so it made me want to get back into Star Wars. So, yeah, maybe with the D6 system, of course. Maybe that will be, as a player, I'd like to. You know, I've been so much of a game master in that game. You know, I'd like to be a player, one of the hero of the story. So, we'll see, maybe. Well, I'm planning to ask for conventions. There's not much conventions from where I'm living. In Montreal, there will be Draconis the first weekend of March, and I have a wish here. It's to be there all the time. There will be, you know, Friday, Saturdays, and Sunday. You know, I'd like to take part of all of it. You know, make a big marathon. We'll see. I'll be there at least once during the weekend. During the weekend, I'll be there at least once. As for being there all the time, well, I will have to arrange my schedule with my family and, you know, with the real life to make sure that I can escape from home and get a whole weekend of role-playing games. We'll see, okay? There's a lot I have to think about to make it work. But that's my intention. Maybe some online conventions, maybe, just maybe, you know, there was no Brigade Con last year. Maybe there will be a Brigade Con this year. We'll see. Okay, I can make a promise there. Brigade Con is too far ahead in my life. Okay, so yeah. Some resolutions, and this will be a not a very funky one, but I plan not to buy any role-playing games, though I know that it will be impossible. At some point I will buy some stuff, but I will try not to get new games. Yeah, because, you know, I have a big collection of games that I've bought during the last few years and I haven't read. And, you know, it makes me sad not to read it. You know, I want to read them. Yeah, I want to take the books and read them. I want to know what they're all about. So if I'm buying new books, it's just piling up over the others. And, you know, I don't have that much reading time, so I'm trying to be honest with my own pace, and yeah, I have enough to make me happy for the rest of my life with what I have in my shelf for many years to come. So I will try to read that before getting into some other new role-playing games. First of all, for every type of genre and settings, I have something that pleases me a lot. Okay, so I don't feel the need that much to get quest for some new games. I have mostly everything I need. So why buy new games? And I'm not counting the number of PDFs that I have bought. When you go through bundle of holding, sometimes you go there, okay, because there's one or two books that would suit you, but since it's a bundle, it comes up with 5 other books. Yeah, and yeah, I'm curious. I'd like to read them too. So yeah, that I have enough to read, so I'll try not to get new games. And at the same time, I'll make a big cleanup of my shelf. Many books will get out. Okay. Well, I do that once in a while, some sort of a cleaning of my shelf. I used to have way more role-playing games than that, and at some point just throw them out, give them to others as a gift, sell them to used bookstores or stuff like that. I do that once in a while because what I want is to sit down in front of my shelf and be inspired. At every book that my eyes will stop, to feel that I really want to play this game. And right now there are some books that don't have that I want to play this. Okay, just an example, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition. I will get rid of all of them. I can't see when I will replay that. Okay, I've bought them by mere curiosity. This is the first role-playing game I've ever played in my life, but I've never played it quite enough back then to really fall in love with it, because back then I really got into some other games. So it was the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition was already something from the past in my first few months of gaming. But I've bought them just to read them, with the clear mind. And okay, I've enjoyed flipping through them, but it's not more than that. I'm looking at that and say, well, I really don't want to play that. So that is one example among others. I'm keeping some of the books because I know that I have planned to use them in RPGS. So if this year I'm using those systems, maybe some of them will get out, because yeah, I will be happy to use them, but will I play them afterward? I don't know, but that's the way it is. Okay, I want a shelf that when I look at it, it's not only shelves of collecting games. I don't feel much like a collector, except for some series like Advanced Fighting Fantasy. I like to collect them. I've begun my collection, so I'm wishing to have it complete, but not more than that. So that's pretty much it. What is your 2018? What are your expectations? I'd like to know. Well, maybe some of you have made videos. That is it. François Letard, JDR D30, and up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye.